everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our vlog. Ready? Let's sing the song we prepared.
Welcome
to our daily vlog.
Every day it's there.
Every day it's there, and we love
Even
your hair.
we love your
it's
hair.
fresh and clean, and we love
like
to be mean.
And we're on YouTube every day. We're on YouTube every day. We're on YouTube. Don't forget about us every day. Don't forget to look.
That's it. That's the end of the song.
No, there's the whole other verse.
Don't
forget to look on your laptop,
Steven.
baby.
Okay. So welcome to our vlog.
Welcome to our vlog.
So today we're going to talk about the story of Oliver because everyone keeps asking about his story, and now we're going to tell it.
Look, he's got a nice, because it's his day, he's got a nice little
we put on a bandana just for his special day because this is about Oliver. See?
Look at him.
See? It's about Oliver, the cutest dog in town.
I just took him to the vet, and both the receptionists in the vet were like, oh my god, that's the cutest dog I've ever seen. And I said, yeah, I just found out there's something else wrong with them. And I said, pretty much everything's wrong with him. And they went, no, that's why he's so cute. Yeah. And I said, exactly. I didn't mean, I felt bad. Like because
they didn't get that we joke about
We joke.
We say, oh, everything's wrong with him, but we say that in a loving way. Like I always say everything's wrong with Steven, you know? And I'm joking. I don't mean it when I say everything's wrong with him.
I never heard you say that.
Oh, I don't.
When do you say that?
So the story of Oliver.
No, but let me just tell them what happened in the vet, just quickly.
Okay.
So, just to see about everything about him being all wrong, I found out today everything is wrong with him, apart from these ears. Nothing's right. So I'll go into what happened at the vet later on. Literally everything's wrong with this dog.
Oh, so you're not going to say the vet?
Well, we could tell the story. Let's do the story and then I'll tell them at the end.
So, okay. So we got Oliver about, I would say at this point, 1.5 years ago now?
We got him in August 2014.
No, 14 or
15. 15. August 2015.
Yes. So, so about 1.5 years. And Oliver, Steven and I were out for coffee. I remember we were living in Hollywood at the time.
Yes.
And we thought, hey, you know, let's get out of the house. Let's go for a quick coffee.
Yes.
And I was like, you know, I know this place. My friend took me here. It's a really cool little cafe. Let's go here. We never go to this place. So we went to this little cafe on Fairfax. Remember?
Yes. And I've been sending you pictures of dogs every day for a while at this point.
Oh, yeah. So Steven kept saying, let's get a dog, let's get a dog. And I was sort of like nervous about it, like, we both work so much. Do we have time at this point in our lives to take care of a dog?
That was my point, it's from home.
I know, but I was still just, and we had a dog before and he passed away. Yeah. And I just sort of thought, I don't know, like, can we do this right now? Because we're both working so much.
Yes.
So anyway, we go to this cafe, and Steven had been texting me random pictures of random dogs that he's finding online. Just
daily.
I'm like, I get it, Steven, you want a dog. Like, I get it.
Little tip, guys, if you want a dog, send a picture to your wife every day.
Of a dog.
Of a dog, not anything else. Not your penis or anything.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not going to get you a dog.
No, might get you arrested.
Yeah. So, we go to this cafe, and we're sitting having a nice little cappuccino. And it's nice. We're hanging out, and then all right, yeah, it was okay, right? It was overrated. I would never go back to that place. I hated that place. It was terrible. It was bad coffee. There was nowhere to sit. What was up with that? Do you remember we were standing around like assholes the whole time?
Yeah, I'm used to standing.
It was like one of those like trendy bullshit. Everyone has glasses on that they don't really need, like the non-prescription. It's like
just glasses.
Stop it.
Stop the glasses with the nothing in it.
With nothing in it. Stop it.
I want to put my finger through.
I literally want to put my fingers through your eyes.
No, through the glasses.
Through the glasses into your eyes.
I wouldn't want to put.
And pull out your eyeballs.
I don't want to pull anyone's eyeballs out. That's weird.
Me neither. And I certainly didn't do this, so don't. I didn't.
Now I know what happened.
You found me out, and you're next.
No, I need my eyeballs.
Sorry,
so
Ollie. Oh my God, I'm
now.
sorry, Ollie. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
This is what I have to put up with.
Okay. So he's like, fuck this. I'm out of here. Back to the shelter.
Come on, mate.
So anyway, sorry, Ollie. So what happened was we decided we're gonna go, and we're walking back to our car. We parked about a block away. That was another thing. There was no parking.
There's no parking.
And so as we're walking on Fairfax, Stephen turns and sees this pug adoption or pug rescue place.
Never thought about getting a pug at this point.
Yeah, and Stephen just was like, hey, we should go in there and have a look.
I wanted to see some pugs.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I mean, we can just go look. Like, we can just go look. Like, you know, nothing else. There's no harm in just going and petting a couple of dogs. So, all right, fine, let's go look.
Yeah. So I go in and I see a lovely little black pug puppy. And
there's
I'm
all
like,
these little
oh my
pugs
God.
running around. Pug
pugs.
rescue by a company called Pug Nation.
They're great.
Yeah, they're awesome, and they rescue pugs.
Donate to them if you can.
Yes, Pug Nation. And so there's all these cute little pugs. Steven sees this little black puppy
And
pug.
I'm playing with it thinking, oh, this would be a good one. Oh, look at him.
And he's like
all
bonding.
normal.
Yeah. And he's bonding with that pug.
I was bonding with him.
And
Two eyes.
Yeah, and I'm looking around, and I see all these cute normal pugs. And then I see this guy, and he's faced the wrong way. He's facing the wall, whereas all the other pugs are looking at the people, and he's just like facing the wall like this.
Facing the wall. Look at that. Look how accurate that is. That's pretty damn good. Jesus, you don't do that on the YouTube, please.
So, I see him, and I'm immediately drawn. I look at his face, and I was like, wow, that face is so unique. Now, if you think he's weird looking now, at the time, he was even skinnier than he is now.
Much skinnier.
And we found out today that he has a deformity, which is why he's so skinny. We'll get into that in a minute.
Because a lot of people think that he's underfed,
right,
but we found out today what the actual
spinal
reason
deformity, so he doesn't have nerves, a lot of nerves here.
We know the answer.
And yeah, so it has nothing to do with his diet, FYI. But
in fact, he's a good weight. I weighed him today, but anyway.
Yes.
When we first got him, by the way, he was today he was 12. When we first got him, he was like 8 pounds. So he was so much skinnier.
So he was 8 pounds, okay, imagine that. His skin was like falling off. Literally, he was bleeding on his stomach. He had rashes and cuts and just horrible skin all over his body.
He was covered in blood and gunk.
He was covered in gunk. They had put him in stuff. He was like that. He was so skinny.
Yeah.
He was, and I just looked at him and I was like, if we don't take this dog, they're gonna put him to sleep. I know it. And on top of that, he was 7 years old.
Yeah.
So I take him and I hold him, and immediately I knew that he was definitely our dog.
Well, you picked him up and he cuddled you, which was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
he
held me like a baby. His arms were wrapped around me and his legs, and he just went.
Yeah, he did, straight away. First thing.
And so then I was like, Steven, come here. And I turned him around and I said, Steven, look.
And I literally went, ah!
Yeah, he was like, oh.
Because I saw that face for the first time.
He was like, oh.
But not only that,
He's nice.
He was
nice. Yeah, he was
interesting. He was gooey, and he had all this blood, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, he was a complete mess. I mean, he was in really bad shape.
Yeah, he was.
So, and then they said, oh yeah, I said, what happened to his eye? Yeah. And they told us the story. So basically, the story is they rescued him. He was kept in a dark, cold garage, and the previous owners, and they wouldn't feed him for days. And so he was just like kept in this garage by himself, and they would throw him in a cage, at night, I think. But during the day, he would walk around this garage, and it was dark, and there were no windows, it was cold.
He was malnourished, they didn't feed him.
He was malnourished, and he walked in, and he walked into something in the garage and punctured his eye, and they didn't take him to the vet, they left it. So by the time that he was discovered and rescued, they had to take his eye out the next day because it was in such bad condition. And
the really horrible thing is that I had all his medical records when we adopted him, so I could look back and see since they adopted him. And his first ever thing written about him was, "We're sending a pug over to the vet ASAP. He's in really bad shape." It was so upsetting to read that about him when they rescued him.
Yeah. So, he was apparently in and out of shelters for years. Like,
but that's the other thing. Yeah. That's what we thought that's what they told us, but we found out something since then when someone got in touch with you on Facebook and said they saw him 5 years ago.
Yeah,
in
so
Long
he
Beach.
was in shelters for 5 years, meaning that nobody wanted to adopt him in 5 years. So they would just sort of pass him around to different shelters, and then I think Pug Nation got him from the kill shelter.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's where they go before they're going to be, what's it, euthanized?
Euthanized.
And,
but one of your fans...
So yeah, so I get a
check this out.
message, because you know, Oliver has an Instagram page and I post about him, and one of my fans on Facebook messaged me and said, "Hi, I'm just curious, your dog, he didn't come from Long Beach, did he?"
So where he came
and
from?
he did. In his records it says he's from Long Beach, California. And she said, "Please let me know." And I said, "Yes, he did. Why?" And she said, "Years ago, I saw him at a PetSmart. They were doing like the rescue thing there. And he was there and I loved him so much. And I saw him, but he was $300 and I couldn't afford it at the time. And so I couldn't get him, but he wouldn't leave my mind. I just always thought about this little dog and I always thought about him, and he was so special and so different. And it just broke my heart to think that I didn't know where he was." And I was like, well, this is definitely him, and he's loved and healthy now. And she was like, "I'm crying, this is so amazing." And she said, "Since then, I've rescued another dog, this is my dog." And so we sort of like exchanged stories.
They must get cheaper the older they get, because he was only $100.
He was on discount at that
Discounted,
time. He was in his prime.
Oh, he's
back
$300
then.
when he was in his prime.
$300 now. We got him for $100.
$100.
We got him for $100.
$100.
$100 for that.
It's the price of a posh lunch we got him for.
Yes. So, so that's it. And we, okay. So we're at the shelter or at this Pug Nation. And I'm really interested in him, and I'm asking questions. And I said, "So the one eye," and they tell us the story. And then I said, "But does this eye work?" And they said, that one works, yeah.
And then I said, "Does he play fetch?" And they were like, "No."
They laughed.
They laughed. He doesn't play.
So they basically told us that he could see and he could not play fetch. And what we have found out, obviously, when we took him home, was that he cannot see. We take him home, we put him down, and he's bumping into everything, all the walls, everything. And I'm like, I don't know if that eye works. We take him to the vet, and they're like, he's blind as a bat.
They did a very simple test at the vet, just in case you ever want to find out if your animal can see.
Yep, no, he's blind.
They shone a light in his eyes, and they said that's how they tell. They shone a really powerful light in his eyes, and he didn't blink. And they said that's how you know he's blind, because he didn't have any reaction to it. So that's how they tell. Anyway. Aww. Yes.
So yeah, so they totally lied to us and told us that he could see. And then also, but they kind of were like, "Are you sure you want this one?" Even the women there, they were like, "Have you seen Kathy? Kathy's great. She's a little couch potato. You can watch TV with her." Yes. And they give us this big fat pug, Kathy.
Yeah, and we wanted this one.
Yeah, so now we're going between Kathy.
They really sold us on Kathy.
And Ollie, which by the way, his name was Obi at the time. Yeah. So Obi and Kathy, and they were really trying to sell us on Kathy.
Yeah, they even let me take Kathy for a walk.
Yeah, so we take Kathy for a walk. We're like, "Kathy's cool." And then we went out to eat after, remember? And we're sitting there and we're like, "Kathy or Obi?" And, you know, Kathy's sweet and normal, and Obi is a fucking mess, to be honest.
He really was a mess then.
And ultimately, we came to the decision that nobody else was going to adopt him. That he was a much harder case.
He was on his last legs anyway.
Because he's special needs.
In the kill shelter.
He's completely messed up everywhere. He doesn't look like a normal pug. A lot of times people, when they want pugs, they want a full pug. They want a purebred. We don't know what he's mixed with. We have no idea. He's deformed. He's special needs. So we ultimately went with him because he was more disgusting than Kathy.
Yes.
And we knew that he needed love more, and that Kathy would have a better chance of being adopted. And that was the best decision we ever made. Yeah. So we decided.
He's great.
And then we picked him up from his foster mom's house, remember?
Yeah, that was funny.
And we still thought he could see at the time.
Yeah.
So we're like, "Oh, so he could just walk down the stairs." She's like, "Oh, no, you have to pick him up." We're kind of like, "Huh."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was so cute on that day.
Yeah.
And he was like cuddling in.
We fell in love with him straight away, didn't we? But yeah, so we just found out today. So yeah, So he's fine now. We got rid of all of his allergies, but
got rid of all of them. He was the vet said he was allergic to either meat or dairy, and this is another thing that people are like, "Oh my God, your dog's vegan." But here's the deal, guys. He gets tons of protein, tons, with quinoa, with beans, with lentils. Like, he has more protein than probably a dog who eats meat.
And we checked him out today, and all his levels are amazing.
All his levels are amazing. So before you guys criticize and say dogs can't be vegans, this dog was allergic to meat or dairy. They said that, and his skin was falling off.
Yeah, it was really
bad. The second we substituted that for vegetables and natural proteins, his skin was glowing, his fur was glowing.
Yeah.
When we got him, he was like hay, he was like straw.
Yeah.
And now,
he was, yeah.
And now his skin or his hair is so soft, and so it is.
But the vet said today, as long as they have a good protein source, that's vital.
And
as long as they have that.
make sure of that every day. Yeah, we're very good about that.
But anyway, today I take him to the vet,
Yeah.
and I took him for he had a little ear infection.
He had a little allergy.
I took him in, and the vet goes, there's something very strange about your dog.
Yeah.
He said, look.
You're like, I know.
Yeah, I know that. But he said, look at the front half of your dog, and then try and fill in the picture of what the. Oh, sorry, Oliver. So he covered up the front half of Ollie, and he said, look at the back half of him, and I was like, okay.
So here, we'll show you.
Okay, yeah.
So here's the back half.
Look at the back half of Ollie.
See how small?
Now imagine what the top of that dog would look like. But then, look at the top half of Ollie. Completely different. He's big on the top. See, that's really mad. So that's the test that he got today. And the vet said, okay, so what I want to do is find out if he's got arthritis.
Sorry.
Because he shouldn't be like that. And that makes it look like he might have arthritis. So
yeah, so the vet thought he might have arthritis because he thought there was something going on here.
He hasn't got the right musculature at the back for the front half. So they were like, they brought out all the thing, and they said it's a bit expensive to do this, but we think it's worth doing. Turns out it was very expensive, but they make you make. So how are you going to say no? Though?
He has a spinal
yeah.
deformity.
So basically, here his spine goes into a bunch. In the X-ray, all of his nerves go down to here, and then here they get all bunched up. So they get bunched like that, and only a couple of nerves go down his spine to the back half.
Right.
So he hasn't got all the nerves. He's got half the nerves in his back half that he's got in the front, which is why his back half is so tiny. It's not developed because he doesn't have the nerves.
Yeah, like he can't even sit down.
He can't sit down, and we never knew why. He does half sit.
He does a half sit, and we're always like, why does he half sit around the house? Because of the spinal deformity.
Today we know, because he's got, on top of all the other deformities.
Well, he just has a deformed nipple there.
The nipple, the teeth, the tongue, the nose, the eye.
He's perfect.
Legs,
he's perfect.
the feet size.
So, moral of the story is, he's been the biggest blessing ever.
Yes, he really has.
He teaches us every day to be grateful.
Yeah.
It sounds really silly and corny, but it's so true.
Does.
Like, if you just all, like right now, just for a second, just for 5 seconds, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. This is Oliver's life all the time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't let fear overtake him. He walks through the fear.
He does.
He bumps into things, but he doesn't let it stop him. He keeps going. He is so strong and so courageous.
He's got such a he's the funniest dog ever. He's so affectionate. It's crazy.
He just wants to cuddle and love and play. And by the way, the the rescue people said he could see and he could not play fetch. Well, I'm here to say he cannot see and he plays fetch. And yes, it takes him 20 minutes to find the rope, but he finds it and he brings it back. He finds it. He goes out and he sniffs and he smells and he runs around until he finds that rope, and he picks it up and he runs back so excited, and he does it again and does it again. That's pretty spectacular.
You're a good boy.
They said he could never play fetch, and he does.
He does. He's such a good boy. And so today we found out bad news, he's got that thing with his spine, but it explains a lot. And also, the good news is he doesn't have arthritis, which they thought he had.
He does not have arthritis. So he's going to live till 23. There was another vegan pug online that lived till 23. So, and he had potatoes and lentils for dinner every night, which Oliver has a lot. So we're hoping that he lives till 23 too. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching the story of Oliver. Everybody's been asking. I hope it was informative and Last but not least, adopt, don't shop. This is a cause that we feel really strongly about.
Definitely.
There's so many dogs that are put down every day, and you can get you can get a purebred of any type of dog you want.
They've got all them all in the shelters. Yeah. And why don't you tell us about your pets in the comments?
Yes.
below.
Do you have cats, dogs? Are you thinking about rescuing?
What's your funniest pet story?
Yeah. What's your funniest pet story? Yes.
And tomorrow, let's do the next relationship one.
Tomorrow we're going to talk about our second official date when things got hot and heavy, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
On YouTube.
Bye, guys.